Hi there, Ben here, data analyst at DCX. And with the GA4 transition date fast approaching, it's important to be aware of one of the major changes to the reporting structure of Universal Analytics, that being the removal of reporting views. And this short video should help to give you an idea of what this new reporting structure will look like in GA4 and how you can utilize some of GA4's new features to help keep your analytics data clean, organized, and accurate. Here we have a simple example of how a universal analytics reporting structure might generally be configured. So starting with a Google Analytics account, within an account you're able to create universal analytics properties, which are to store your analytics data in. And within each of these properties, you're then able to create up to 25 reporting views, which can be used to filter the data in the Universal Analytics property in a number of different ways before it's presented to you in the various reports. And you can configure many properties within one Google Analytics account, and within each property up to 25 reporting views. With GA4, the typical structure is now going to look a little bit different. So GA4 properties can be created under the same Google Analytics account that holds your current Universal Analytics properties, but GA4 properties do not have the option to create reporting views within them, meaning that each GA4 property is essentially a single reporting view in and of itself. All this means that as part of the migration from Universal to GA4, you'll need to consider how you're going to structure your GA4 properties within your Google Analytics account so that you can continue to analyze any subsets of data that you may currently have set up as Universal Analytics views. So what options do you have? These can be split into two categories. Firstly, what you can do before data is collected in GA4 properties. So you can actually create separate GA4 properties within your Google Analytics account like you can with Universal Analytics properties. So for example, you could create one property to store your production data and another property to store your test data. That might look something like this. Then, using a tag manager, you could send data to the corresponding GA4 property from the relevant environment that you're collecting data from. And that might look something like this. So an example of two environments of the same site, for example, example.com in this case. Installed on both of these environments is a tag manager container. And what you can do is when data is sent into that tag manager container from the production site, you can configure that tag manager account to send that data to the live GA4 property. And when it receives data from the test environment, you can send that data to the test GA4 property. And in this way, you can keep your production and your test data separate. Secondly is what you can do after your data's been collected in GA4. So you can make use of a lot of new features that have been integrated into the GA4 reporting interface. Firstly, create audience segments, so you can create different audiences based on different kinds of user interactions and group those into different subsets of data so you can compare those within a GA4 property. You can use the GA4 data filters to filter out internal traffic, so if you've got an IP address or a range, you can add those to the internal traffic filter. You can also set up a developer traffic filter, which filters out any traffic with a debug mode parameter appended to it. You can create custom explore reports. Again, similar to the audience segments, you can apply different segments to the custom explore reports to kind of create subsets of data, so you're not getting all of the data in the main reports. And you can segment the data within the report itself as well to further drill down into your data. And lastly, if it's something that you would like to do, you can export your data to BigQuery for free with GA4. And from there, you can then create different data tables and reporting views within BigQuery, and then connect that back to a visualization tool like Looker Studio, for example, and visualize your data in that way. For more detailed information on how to mitigate the removal of reporting views, read our latest blog post on the subject that goes in depth into all of the concepts covered in this video. And if you'd like help in planning and executing the migration of your data from Universal Analytics to GA4, don't hesitate to get in touch via any of the methods on the screen now.